Hi, so this is your full moon reading for the sidereal full moon in Sagittarius. This would be really quick general reading. You can use your sun, moon, or rising sign. It is really a good idea to find your sidereal sun, moon, and rising, because then this will be more accurate for you. But I mean, whatever, just do what feels right. And if you find that any of these readings resonate with you, go ahead, feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know what stood out most to you in your readings. Oh yeah, and if any of these kind of ring true to you and you would like to get a more specific, like, to you reading, you can go to my website. The link will be down below, and you can book a reading. I do both virtual, like live readings through Zoom, but I also do written readings if like a video call is not something that you want to do. Time for Libra. So what you're releasing with this full moon is the Death card. Look at it. I think it's cool. They have a little bird friend on their hand. Bringing in Magician. Sorry, I didn't show anyone else their cards, but like, because Death showed up, I felt like I had to show you what it looked like. You also have the Sun here. I'm getting ahead of myself. So what you're releasing is the Death card. What you're bringing in is the Magician, and general guidance is Ace of Wands. And the two cards that jumped out were the Princess of Wands and the Sun. So you've gone through a lot recently, and maybe for a long time until recently. What I'm getting from this is that you've gone through like a big big transformation where for some of you, you might be going through like what you might be able to call a spiritual awakening. It's kind of like years, maybe decades of darkness is being, these years of darkness and just like feeling horrible are being like, it's going away. And in place of it is this new sense of, I don't know, you're in a phoenix moment right now. And I think with this full moon especially, and maybe with the summer solstice, because the Sun is showing up here and so is the Princess of Wands, and like all of these cards kind of give this imagery of the Sun. So it's almost like a switch has flipped for a lot of you, where like a lot of people might see you again after like even just a couple months, and you might be like totally different to them. Like you've really let go of a lot, and you've embraced that discomfort. You've embraced the vulnerability of letting go of everything that has been built around you to protect yourself, but also separate yourself from others, from experiences, from happiness. It's kind of like right now, it feels like the world is your oyster, so to speak. And that's really exciting. I'm really happy for you. It takes a lot to get out of something like that. It's not easy. It's not easy, but you are doing it, and that is cool. You got this. Keep doing this. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what I have for you, Libra. If you want to chat it out, we can. But I mean, I think you've kind of got this. Like, you're kind of on top of the world right now. The only thing I would caution against is just like hubris. But I think you need all the optimism that you can have right now. Like, you're just kind of like riding high, and you gotta savor that, you know? So just don't make any stupid decisions. But that's it. Scorpio. So Scorpio, what you're releasing is Nine of Cups. What is coming in is the Empress, and general guidance is the Devil. And two cards jumped out, so we're just gonna see what they are because this could mean anything. We have Eight of Cups and Five of Wands. What situation have you gotten yourself into? Okay, so kind of similar to Cancer's reading, I think. What I was saying to Cancer earlier, whoever it was about this, you know, having kind of like fantasy relationships, either dating people who are emotionally unavailable or being the emotionally unavailable one. Well, in this situation, I think it's kind of more like the fiery, toxic type of relationship that is coming up here. So for you, I think that something might have ended in the recent past, a relationship that might have felt perfect. You might have been in a really good situation, and for whatever reason that may have ended, or there might be like a brief separation, or one of you had to move on from the relationship for whatever reason. And you have this opportunity here to really just kind of like come into your own after this loss. But what needs to be kind of like counterbalanced is the self-destructive urges, tendencies, habits, etc. that might come up during this. Yeah, I think some of you could be dealing with some like really damaging, harmful things that you might use to kind of like numb the sensations and the feelings of what you're going through, but it's hard. I think for some of you, it might not even be a relationship. I think for some of you, it might actually be that habit that is being released. With Nine of Cups in the past, and the Devil, and the Five of Wands, and with all these cards here, I think some of you might actually be giving up some kind of self-destructive something that has kind of like tricked you into thinking that you have it all, or that kind of like has tricked you into thinking that you are emotionally fulfilled, but once that's taken away, you feel that void that has been filled up, you know, by that thing. And like it could be substances, it could be just behaviors, it could be people, especially if it might be like over socializing with others, or like spending too much time on social media, whatever. Like it can be like really intense self-destructive things, or it could be much more subtle. But whatever it is, I think for a lot of you, you might be letting go of that, and you're kind of dealing with the internal struggle that comes from that. Like, you know, when the cues show up to engage in that self-destructive thing, you got to be aware of those cues, and you got to be aware of the drive, the impulse, whatever it is. And it really sucks. Like, it's not easy. And I mean, I really don't have to say that either, because like, duh. But, you know, I just want you to know that like you're not failing at whatever this is. For some of you who are dealing with more serious situations, I just really want to like remind you that if you find yourself like falling back on that thing, if you find yourself falling back on that thing, it doesn't mean that you're starting completely over. It's not like you engage in that self-destructive thing and then you're set all the way. It's not like you're sent all the way back to day one. It's much more like a spiral of good health, I would say, where it's like you let go of that thing, and then maybe you do go back to it. But then you acknowledge it, you accept it, you forgive yourself, you gain a stronger sense of self-compassion. I think that's what the Empress here is that like self-compassion and like feeling like you are the one who is in control over your own domain, your home and your body and your mind and your emotions. But yeah, you don't start over. It's just that like that happens and then you get back on track, and then the amount of time between, you know, I don't want to say the word relapse because for some of you it might not be like a serious issue, but for some of you it might be. But like, and I'm also not a professional, I can't give you any like mental health advice, but the time between any type of like return to that self-destructive thing, that gets extended. It becomes fewer and further between, and then eventually it just like tapers off completely. And it's so important to have that self-compassion and that patience and like accepting that this is a journey. But yeah, and if you are going through something like that, I do want you to know how strong you are to be doing that. Not that people who are still stuck in certain behaviors are weak, but like to willingly put yourself through that discomfort it takes a lot. And I know you know that, but like, I feel like I just need to remind you. I feel like I need to remind you that there is no failure, there's only progress. And also, like, you're doing fine. Be nice to yourself. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Sagittarius, what is going on in your life? What's not going on in your life? Wow, I meant it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're another 9 card reading. So I only show the cards to some people for this really quick type of reading, but in your past position, your releasing position, you have the 10 of Swords. For some reason I thought this was the 9 of Swords for a second, but that's the 10 of Swords. What's coming in is death. That's a good thing. Especially if you have the 10 of Swords here. And then general guidance is the Sun, and this creepy little child right there. Thankfully, you do have 6 other cards to help clarify this, so let's get into this. You're going through it, like intensely so. Like, you've gone through it. I think that, like, for many of you, you have like like, this isn't a judgment. It's just like you are as low as you could be, and it's that situation where it's like, well, there's nowhere else to go but up. I see this as an optimistic reading because I'm me and I like optimistic readings and I'm an optimistic reader, but the fact that you have 10 of Swords in the past and death in the present and the Sun as like your general guidance, like believing that you can only go up from here is what's gonna help you get up from here, you know? Yeah, so we have the Empress, 9 of Cups, and 8 of Cups. For some of you, I think you might have potentially lost a significant relationship with somebody. I know this is like really specific, but I think that for some of you, you might have experienced something where you just like, you might not have been in the place, or someone you were with maybe, but this is your reading. You might not have been in the right place to show up the way that you would fully want to in a relationship. And it may have meant that it kind of like soured a connection between you and somebody that you really had a lot of hopes for your future together. And 9 of Cups is in the next position, and then 8 of Cups is also in the guidance position. So far what I'm getting from this is you will get the thing that will bring you a lot of, like, you know, emotional fulfillment and everything. You will get that by letting go of it. And I know that's hard, that's not easy. And I'm not saying that you're going to end up with the same person that things like kind of went awry with, but it's not off the table. It's just a matter of like, it's just gonna have to take a little bit of time before this new chance at love can like blossom, I suppose. What's really funny here is the way that the Eight of Cups and the Sun, like once I laid out the Eight of Cups, it looks like this. So I don't know, like I don't want to tell you like get over it for anything, because I don't know what you're dealing with in your situation, but like what I'm kind of seeing here is that you might, I don't want to say you're crying over spilled milk, because like I don't want to devalue your experience, so I'm not gonna say that. I just, what I'm getting from it is like you might be too stuck on the sense that you have failed. You might be too stuck on this one person, or you might be too stuck on just like, you might just think that you're never going to have the life that you want, and especially like the love that you want, but that doesn't have to be true. The last few cards, Five of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and Six of Wands. Yeah, no, I think in this situation, I think it's one where you really like, you're kind of being pushed to work on yourself. See, I love working on myself. I love when people work on themselves. Working on yourself is not a bad thing. Working on yourself is a freaking awesome opportunity. It's great. Like, I mean, sometimes like we really have to be pushed like as far down as possible before we do realize what it is that what needs to be changed or what needs to be healed. But like, as long as you don't get stuck like in the like sewers of what didn't work out and like the things that you may have contributed to that, like as long as you don't get stuck there, you have like so much room to grow, and that is super, super cool. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Just like focus on yourself, I guess. I would caution against being too overzealous about, I know, I just said that to a Sagittarius, but one thing at a time. Figure out the biggest priority and do that, whether it's like, you know, chipping away at things or just like removing like a big boulder, whatever it is for you. Yeah, if you want to get more guidance on this situation, definitely book a reading with me if you feel called to do so. I might be able to, I don't know, help you kind of like figure out what those priorities might be. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Capricorn, I shuffled all of your cards while the church bells were going off. What you're releasing during this full moon is Eight of Wands. What is coming in is the Emperor, and general guidance is Two of Swords. And you also had one jumper, which is the Hanged Man. Okay, so I feel like a lot has come at you recently, and it might be leading to some feelings of overwhelm. I don't blame you. You might have also bitten off more than you could chew, or you might have jumped into something sooner than you might have been ready to, but don't worry. Don't worry, because no, okay, so I think that there are a lot of distractions that are kind of like clouding your vision, and you might be focusing on the things that aren't helping you get where you want, or something like that. You might have too many fingers and too many pies. Oh, I hate that one, but I mean, you might. And I don't know, just in general, right here, whatever it is that you're facing, it is time to look at things differently. Two of Swords, the Hanged Man. There's something that you're not seeing, and I don't know what that is for you, because this is very individual. I can only do like general readings in this setting. I don't know why I didn't say this when I was recording this. I think I was just really hungry. But looking at or watching the segments for your other signs, like if Capricorn's your sun sign, I recommend looking at your moon or rising signs. Sorry, triple Capricorns. But yeah, watching the parts that cover other signs that are in your chart, in your sun, moon, or rising, might give you some more, a better idea of what it is that you might not be seeing clearly. If you want a more in-depth reading on what you might be like overlooking or what might be distracting you and whatever, if you want some insight for that kind of thing, book a reading with me. Links will be below. But yeah, like you are coming into your power. Like the Emperor is right here. This is what's coming in. But there are just certain things in the way. For Capricorn rising in particular, the moon is transiting your 12th house, which is the house of self-sabotage, self-undoing, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know, I think it's possible that you might have jumped into shadow work too strongly or too soon. I don't know. Like I said, this is a very individual situation for you, but you're gonna come out on top. But kind of like Sagittarius, I think it was. It's just a matter of getting your priorities in order. But for you specifically in this reading, it's more a matter of getting your vision in order, if that makes sense. Help is out there, whatever it is that you need. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I know that was short, but the cards say what the cards say. Aquarius. Aquarius. All right, what you are releasing? Seven of Swords. What is coming in? The Tower. And general guidance, Queen of Pentacles. Most direct message that I'm getting from this is someone screwed you over, someone stabbed you in the back. Things might suck right now. They might suck a lot, depending on your situation. But you're gonna come out of this with like so much more power than before with the Queen of Pentacles here. Like, Queen of Pentacles is like big growth through hardship, specifically material hardship. So for some of you, you might have been in like a financial situation with somebody that left you with the short end of the stick, or like a lot of crap to have to deal with. Like someone might have just like dumped all of their troubles onto you. Nine of Wands and Seven of Wands. The word litigation is coming up in my mind, but I don't necessarily know why. If that speaks to you, I guess it does. But oh, you might be in a situation where it's like a whole group of people that has just kind of like left you for dust. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry if that's you, but yeah, it'll be over in time. You'll get through this, but it is difficult. It is a little bit rough, maybe a lot rough, but this kind of speaks to the part in the general horoscope where it's about like you coming into your own, you exploring new ideas and whatnot, and then other people maybe not being very approving of that for some of you. The people that you might have surrounded yourself with might not be as kind as they like to believe and demonstrate that they are. But yeah, I don't know. This is going to be very different for all of you. For some of you, you might be losing like a long-term friend, someone that you've been friends with for a long time. And if you're in the situation where like you were with somebody and they just kind of like got you into a shitty situation, I don't know. You're kind of going through it, and I can't really give you any advice here in this general reading, but like you're gonna come out of this strong. The Queen of Pentacles is right here. And also I flipped up the top card here and there's the Emperor, so I don't know. It's kind of like a little bit of a trial by fire, And it does come with some like loss when it comes to relationships and friendships, but I mean, you're better off without them. If this is a group of people who like won't accept you for who you are or something like that, like whatever. I was talking about taking off the mask that has kept us from developing the friendships and the connections that are really authentic and really like, you know, vibe with us. So you might be going through something like that. I know that wasn't like very specific, but this is a general reading, and those cards, yeah, I don't think I can get into any like details with that reading, but if any of that ring relevant to you, maybe book a reading with me. We can definitely get into like the details one-on-one, but yeah. Lastly, Pisces. Okay. Fuck. How many cards fell out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Really? Is it because you're the 12th sign, so you're like, I get 12 cards? Okay, we might not get through all of them, but we'll see what we need to do. All right, letting go. 4 of Swords. Coming in. 8 of Cups. General guidance. 10 of Swords. No. 10 of Wands. 4 of Swords. Okay, yeah, I'm glad that 12 cards came out because I don't know what the hell that's... I don't know what that's saying. So... you might have tried something that you felt really good about, but it just did not work out. Ugh, yeah. But, okay, so kind of what I'm getting here is that, like, I know this is really specific, but, like, I think some of you may have had, like, a really good idea, and then you shared it with somebody, and then they kind of, like, took it, and now you can't work with that idea because they might have like made it their own before you were able to like get it out there. That's very specific. If that is you, that's rough. But I think that there might be like a caveat here with that, where it's like maybe it's better that you didn't bring that idea to fruition. I don't know. I know it's really specific, but like maybe you can apply it to your situation. So I think that like, all right, hear me out. So if you are in that situation where like you had this great idea, but someone else took it, or I don't know what else, that's all that's coming into me right now. Maybe I should have done these readings in 2 filming sessions, but I knew I wasn't gonna have the same energy to like put anything on my face, like to make myself presentable tomorrow. But I think this situation, whatever it is kind of just making you wiser, more discerning about who you share certain information with. Yeah, like, I mean, like, you're like, whatever is by far not over. Like, this is just, you're just kind of collecting like data. There's no failure, only data. Whatever it was that was kind of like basically like taken away from you, you can still create or bring in what it is that you do want. Some of you might be dealing with like a family situation. I think that's why this is so like hectic and like why I'm having so much trouble reading this. I don't know. I think that there's just a lot of chaos going on for you. I mean, like 12 cards did fall out when I was shuffling for you. And like whatever it is that you're dealing with, it might seem like all hope is lost. It might seem like, you know, like it's just over, like you've lost your chance. Things just aren't gonna work out. But what's showing up here is that you do have the supports that you need. You do have the supports that you need. You do have like the internal power and the internal strength to like kind of like get yourself back up from this. But yeah, I think it's just important to not let this setback like weigh you down for too long, because there's a lot in store for you. It's just a matter of going back to the drawing board, I suppose. So yeah, that was it. I don't know how helpful that one was for you. I'm so sorry. But if any of these readings spoke to you in any way, and if you feel like you want to go deeper into one of these topics, or if you just have something completely different that you want to get some insight on, you can book a reading with me. The link will be down below. And yes, that is it. Happy full moon, happy summer solstice, and I will see you soon. Bye.